Hello, this is Kendra Moyer, and today I wanted to present the discussion on the third week. And I'd like to offer an apology really quickly. I've been bogged down with some family issues and actually overlooked the deadline on this, so my apologies. And basically, the third week we were looking at variables and assigning values to assignment statements and variables. Basically, the overview I got, I kind of keep a notebook where I kind of go through each book and take notes of just the basics. And in the process, I realized that you have to be very, very, very specific about assigning values to your variables, making sure that if you can use standard naming conventions that match with modules, that's useful. Obviously, there's a number of different ways to name your different variables, but keeping them simple in the beginning obviously helps, making sure that they, are easy to keep track of the different values. Like a lot of other people, I'm not really sure the best way to discuss some of the things I've observed, but I did realize that going through the assignments and practicing each of the little snippets of code as you go along gave me a lot of confidence that I think I was lacking. Getting used to using the print statements a lot and understanding how to use the input and print statements to receive some output from the user of the program. There's some tricky aspects again to keeping track of each of the variables, making sure that each class of whichever whatever you're counting is kept very distinct and clear. Ultimately, what I'm learning about Python is that it's a calculator, it's a calculation tool, and it can be used to do a lot of calculations. So we did do a calculator at this stage in the game. Just understanding the basics of keeping everything organized has been very useful. So I've been trying to keep a lot of notes, go back over the notes, try to refresh myself on each of the definitions, and practice doing the actual snippets of code. I want to really quickly touch on some of the roadblocks I've been encountering with just coding in general. While I'm gung-ho about it and I really want to learn it, there are some points where I feel myself getting frustrated and stuck. So I've been making sure to look at the error codes, approach the professor if you find yourself hitting a roadblock. In practice, I actually, when I did this Python calculator assignment, I wound up doing about 30 different coded calculators just until it didn't stress me anymore, until I could kind of get one going, get most of it going, and then go back and kind of tweak it until it worked. So trial and error really worked for me. Sometimes you got to kind of dive in. That's what I realized. Another thing that I found that's been useful is giving myself a couple of days ahead to finish things. So even if I do get stuck, I'm kind of ahead of the game and I'm not feeling the stress. When I get too stressed out, I really, really, really can't focus. I can't concentrate and I can't perform. So giving myself 2 or 3 days ahead to actually have some of the work complete, or at least 75% of it, makes me feel a lot more confident about the class. So again, thank you everyone for listening to my discussion. Mainly what I'm learning in the first couple of weeks is that we have to be very meticulous and specific about assigning variables a value and keeping track of the variables and the assignment of the functions once they've been entered into a program. And just keep on learning, explore different resources on the web if you find yourself needing more help. Okay, so thank you. That was the discussion for week 3.